Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss April 2022 Paper 1 exam. So the first question over here says to you, complete the table of values y equals 2x plus 3. So the first one over here is to replace x with 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is going to give you 5. And the 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 is going to give you 9. And 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is going to give you 11. So it is a linear, as you see over here, it's going to give you, it's a linear function or a linear equation, which means that the line is going to be straight, a straight line. Okay, so let's draw the graph from 0 until 3. It is here. And then 1 until 5. Then you got 2 until 7. Then the 3 is until 9, and the 4 until 11. Drawing a straight line for this, look at this over here. This is all what you need. Okay, let's continue. Chen has 3 pieces of metal. The masses are 6 kilograms, 3.3 kilograms, and 0.75 kilograms. Work out the total mass in kilograms. This is paper 1. You are not allowed to use the calculator. The first step in adding decimals is lining up the decimal points. We've got 3 numbers, so I'm going to do here 6.00 plus 3.3, and I got over here a 0, and then you got 0.75. Adding all these numbers up, you're going to give you over here is 5. Tinker up the 1, and it's going to give you here a 10. So it is 10.05. Write out 3 over 5 as a decimal. Multiplying this by 2, is going to give you 6 over 10, which is 0.6. Or you should know already that 1 over 5 is the same as 0.2. 2 over 5 is the same as 0.4. So actually, it shouldn't take you time to work out anything. You just know that it's 0.6. Tick to show if each of these statements are true or false. Angle A is the same size as angle E. Angle A is the same as angle E. Correct. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. So, corresponding. They did not request from you. They didn't request from you, but I'm just explaining it to you. Those angles that have kind of like an F letter, one is inside the parallel sides and the other is outside, and they are not adjacent. They are on the same side of the transversal. This shows corresponding angles. They are equal. Angle C is the same size as angle HC and H. No, it is false. They are not corresponding. Both of them are outside of the parallel lines or the parallel sides. So no, they are not actually corresponding. If it was C and G, yes, I would have said yes, they are equal because they are corresponding. But C outside the parallel lines, H outside the parallel lines as well, no, they are not equal. All right, next. Angle A and angle F are alternate angles. So A, which is this, and F. Are they alternate angles? False. They are co-interior angles. Co-interior. I know that they did not request from you to fix the mistake, but I'm just explaining it to you. Shaped like this, two sides are parallel. These two angles add up to 180. They could take also this shape. They must be parallel. I'm not using a ruler. They must be parallel. Let's imagine that they are right angles, parallel and parallel. So these two angles that are inside must add up to 180 degrees. They must add up to 180 degrees. They are co-interior. Work out the value of square root of 49, which is 7, plus 6 squared, which is 36, is going to give you 43. Multiplying this over here by 4 and up also by 4, this by 3 and down by 3 gives you 8 over 12 minus 3 over 12, which is 5 over 12. This one, you can say that we're going to multiply this by 2, which is going to give you 24, and up also by 2, which is going to give you a 10, plus here multiplying this by 3 to get 24, and there is a number up there that is missing. The answer is 19 over 24. So what plus 10 that gives you the 19? We got 9 over 24. Yes, but we want it over 3 over 8, so I'm going to need to divide by 3 again to simplify. It's going to give you 3 over 8. So it is 3 over 8. Someone else might think about this way, saying a 19 over 24 minus 5 over 12. This is going to give you also at the end, after simplifying, is going to give you 3 over 8 also at the end after making the denominators the same. It's going to give you 3 over 8 as well. This one over here requires knowledge of factors of the 20. The factors of 20, you're going to find that you got 2 and 10. But trying them here, they're not going to work. And you're going to find also 5 and 4. Trying them here, they're going to work. The 5 here and the 4 here, they're going to work. Multiplying this by 4, up and down, multiplying here by 5, up and down, is going to give you 8 over 20 plus 5 over 20, which is 13 over 20. So it is 5 down and 4 here. Samira is measuring the capacity of a fish tank. Draw a ring around the most suitable unit for this measurement. You're going to find that the milliliter over here is actually too small, right? Because we use it maybe with a small water bottle with drops of water, but liter is the correct one. So milliliter is not correct. Liter is the correct one, is the most suitable. The table shows some statistics for the number of words per page in 2 different books. Book A, they're giving you the mean and the range. Book B, giving you the mean and the range. Complete the sentences using 2 words from the list. Book what has a more consistent. Once we talk about consistency, we said we talk about what? We talk about range. So range, if it is more than variety, you can say it is less varied, it is more varied, it's the more variable, less variable. So here, if the range is more, the variety is more. And the consistency is less. It is the opposite. So more range means more variety, means less consistency. And the opposite, if it is less range, it means more or less variety and means also more consistency. Okay? All right. You need to study this so that you remember it also next time. So let's get back to the question. Book what has a more consistent. Okay, more consistent means less range. Less range, it is book A. So book A has a more consistent number of words per page, which means that it has less range. Book A has a less range. We know this from comparing the ranges. Angelique has 12 sweets. Mia has 3 more sweets, so Mia has 15. Angelique has 12. Mia has 15. Oliver has 5 less than Mia, so Oliver has 10. Find how many sweets do they have altogether. So 12 plus 15, which is 27, plus 10 is going to give you 37. Find the value of A when B equals 11. So A equals 3 times 11 is 33, minus C, which is 4. So A equals what? 29. Here is a sequence of numbers. Find the term-to-term rule for this sequence. Well, if you noticed over here, they're not requesting from you the nth term. They are not requesting the nth term. So what are they requesting? So don't go and say, oh, mister, it is n squared minus. No, they're not requesting this. They're requesting the term-to-term rule. What is happening from this term to the other term to the other term? So it is divide by 2. We're dividing it by 2. Triangle B is drawn on the grid. And it is saying to you over here, triangle A is translated 3 right and 5 down to give triangle B. Draw and label triangle A on the grid. Well, if you noticed over here, they're not saying to you that triangle B is translated 3 right and 5 down. No, they're saying to you triangle A is translated and it became B. So they want to go back to A. So we're going to go vice versa, the other way around. Instead of 3 right, 5 down, we're going to move 3 left, 5 up. So 3 left, 5 up, 1, 2, 3 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be there, up here. You just need to use the ruler and start drawing the same shape exactly. 3 steps down, then you draw this line, then you connect them. And just don't forget to label it. So by labeling it here, we mean that you need to write letter A inside. This way, if it gets translated 3 right and 5 down, yes, it is going to be translated onto shape B. Question 13 here says simplify these expressions. So I'm going to collect like terms. I'm going to collect the 9x with the negative 4x, which is going to give you exactly 5x. The positive 2y with the negative 8y, which is going to give you exactly negative 6y. Here is going to be expanded first. So the 3 plus, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to expand the 2 first to multiply by 5x, which is 10x. Then multiply the 2 by the negative 6, which is negative 12. Collect like terms. 10x stays the same. And the 3 minus 12 is negative 9. So it is 10x minus 9, the correct answer. Somebody might say to me, I wrote negative 9 plus 10x. Also correct. Both are correct. Mike throws an ordinary six-sided dice and spins a coin at the same time. One possible outcome is a 4 and a tail. Work out the total number of possible outcomes. I got 6 numbers. Each one of them is going to happen with once with the tails and once with the head. So for example, you're going to find 1 head and 1 tail, then 2 head and 2 tail, then 3 head and 3 tail, and so on. So I'm gonna have the 6 numbers, but each one of them is repeated twice. So it is 12 options or 12 possible outcomes. A group of people each complete 2 puzzles, A and B. The time taken for each person to complete the puzzles is recorded. The results are shown on the graphs. The scales on each graph are the same. So they're telling you here, complete the sentence. So the graphs show that puzzle what is more difficult. So you're going to find over here that you should write puzzle B is more difficult. Why is puzzle B more difficult? Because it took people more time to answer. Look at puzzle A. Once they took it, some people answered immediately on the spot once they saw the puzzle. While puzzle B, no one could answer it once they took it. They needed more time, and a few people could answer it. Then the number of people started to increase. Some people took the maximum time that was allowed over there. So it is actually puzzle B. Why? Because more people spent more time or longer to solve it. Round this corrected to 2 decimal places, so I'm going to underline the 6, and I'm going to look at the digit after it, which is, it's weak. 4 is weak, so the 6 becomes 6 as it is. Everything before it stays the same, while everything after it gets removed because they are decimal places. Everything after the underlined digit, they want to round to 2. Everything after it, if they are decimal places, they're going to be removed. But if they were from the whole number, like before the decimal places, before the decimal point, then you would have needed to turn them into zeros. They wanted here corrected to one significant figure. So one significant figure here, I'm not going to I'm not going to underline the 6. No, I'm going to underline over here the 3. It is the one decimal place. It is the one significant figure. So the first significant figure here is the 3. Look at the digit after it. It is weak, so the 3 stays the same. Everything before it, nothing is before it. If there were things before it or digits before it, they would have gone down next to it. But here, everything after it, it depends. From the whole number, like the 1, it is not a decimal place, then turn it into a 0. But after that, decimal places, no, remove them. So it's just a 30. Mister, if I wrote here in the beginning 31.4600 wrong, they are the same and they are equal, yeah, but not rounded to two decimal places. So it's gonna be wrong. Only this is correct. Don't put more zeros at the end. Don't write 30.0 because they want to only hear one significant figure. You're gonna need to remove the decimal places. The area of a rectangle is 30 centimeters squared. Work out this area in millimeters squared. So we should know that centimeter to millimeter, what are we supposed to do? From centimeter to millimeter, you're supposed to multiply by 10. But centimeters squared to millimeters squared, then you need to multiply by 10 squared. If it was centimeter cubed into millimeters cubed, then I would have needed to multiply by 10 cubed. But it's only squared. So it's 30 multiplied by 10 squared, which is 100, gives you exactly 3,000 millimeters squared. Here they want you to find the probability of blue. We know that all of them add up to one whole. So you're going to need to do 1 minus 0.25 plus 0.5, which is 0.75, but plus 0.15, which is going to give you exactly 0.9. So these three numbers added up, which is the red, the green, and the yellow, added up to each other, they're going to give you 0.9. Minus them from one whole is going to give you 0.1 for the blue. 1/4 of the counters in the bag are red. Yes, true, because red is 0.25, which is equal to 1/4. The bag contains 100 counters altogether. Well, we cannot tell. It could be 100 counters, it could be 10 counters, it could be 50 counters. We don't actually know. All what we have is just decimals or fractions or percentages. We don't know how many counters are there. The question doesn't tell me any more information about this. The bag contains more blue counters than yellow counters. The blue is 0.1. The yellow is 0.15. So no, yellow is more, so it is false. Yellow is actually more than the blue. Here is a 5-digit number with one digit missing. The 5-digit number is a multiple of 9. So I need to add the digits up and the sum must be a multiple of 9. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 7 is going to give you 21. There is one more digit that is missing, but I must add it to the 21 so that it becomes a multiple of 9. So the only thing that you can add to 21, and it's only one digit, to become a multiple of 9 is 6. This is the only thing. Now, if you add them up, they're going to give you 27, which is a multiple of 9. So it is 6. This here, we need to look at the class interval. All right, they told you that all group intervals must have equal width. So from 1 to 1.20, and from 1.20 is going to become 1.40, 1.40 to 1.60, 1.60 to 1.80. The tally, you should look here for the numbers that are between 1 and 1.20. So you're going to find here this one, this one, this as well. So you're going to find that they are actually 3. Tally, frequency 3. While 1.20 and 1.40, so you're going to find less than 1.40, we have this, And they told you it is equal to 1.40, so this is included with us as well. 1.40 is included, 1.20 is not included. And that's it, so it is only 2. Let me change the color, or you can change the sign, you can make it zigzag or whatever. So 1.40, which is not included, but it's less than 1.60, which can be included. So you're gonna find this one, this one, this one, 1.60 is less in between, which is this one here. 4, I guess it did not count the 1.29, which is also here, part of this. Look at that. So they are not only 2. Look at that. Here, the 1.29 is actually part of the second class interval over here. So they are 3 actually as well. They are 3. All right. Next, between 1.60 and 1.80, you're going to find this is with us, this as well, and this one, and this. So you've got here 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got over here 4. And the last one over here, you've got 1.80 until 2. You've got only 1 number, so it is 1. If you count them, you're going to find it 5, and this is 6. Here is going to give you 10, so 15 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 7 is 15 numbers as well. 7 to the power of 0 multiplied by 7 to the power of 2, add the powers up. Or 7 to the power of 0, we know that it is equal to 1 times 7 to the power of 2 is 7 to the power of 2. You can add also the indices. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 0 is just 0, is just going to give you 0. 7 to the power of 0 is 1 times 1, which is just 1 whole. 7 to the power of 6 divided by 7 to the power of 2 will give you 7 to the power of 4 minus the indices. 7 to the power of 4. This one here, add the powers, so it's 7 to the power of 2 times 7 to the power of 1. It gives you 7 to the power of 3, adding 2 and 1. The area of a piece of land is 4.5 hectares. So the 1 hectare is 10,000 meters squared. So it's 4.5 hectares multiplied by 10,000 to get it into meters squared is going to give you exactly 4530. Here in the simultaneous equations question, here we need either the x's to have the same coefficient or the y's to have the same coefficient. So it is totally up to you. You can multiply the first equation by 2 so that the x's will have the coefficient 10. You will be able to eliminate them. Or you can multiply the second equation by 2 for the y's to be eliminated with each other. So it's totally up to you. Both are going to be correct. I'm going to choose to start with eliminating the y first. So I'm going to multiply the second equation, all of it, by 2. So the first equation remains the same, 5x plus 2y equals 26. And the second equation changes to become 20x minus 2y equals 74. Multiply the whole equation by 2. To eliminate the y's, what do we need to do? If you say I'm going to minus, this is going to be a big mistake. Why? Because 2y minus negative 2y is going to give you 4y. Elimination didn't happen. So for them to be eliminated, you need to add. So now it becomes a 2y plus negative 2y. They get eliminated. 0. So we need to add up the 2 equations. This gives you 25x plus 2y plus positive 2y plus negative 2y, bye-bye, equals 26 plus 74 is going to give you exactly 100. So x equals 100 divided by 25, which is 4. We got the x, we need now to get the y. Get the first equation or the second equation, it's totally up to you. And you're going to need to substitute x with 4. So 5 multiplied by 4 is going to give you 20 plus 2y equals 26. Send the 20 to the other side, so 2y equals 46. So y equals 23. So x is 4, y is 23. If you want to substitute and check, 5 multiplied by 4 is going to give you exactly 20, plus 2 multiplied by 23, which is 46. You're going to find over here that you made a mistake. So we made a mistake over here. And I guess the mistake is in the substitution. 5 multiplied by 4 is 20, and this is here 2y equals 26. So we sent the 20 to the other side positive. We made a mistake. Look at that. I'm a math teacher and I made a mistake. But when I checked my answer at the end in the simultaneous equation, I found out that I made a mistake. When I went back to check my answer and my steps, I found that I made a careless mistake, a tension mistake. So the 20 moving it to the other side is going to make it negative 20, right? So now 26 minus 20 is going to give you a 6. Look at that. So this here is a 6, not a 46. Makes a huge difference. So dividing the 6 by the 2 is going to give you a 3, not a 23. So the y is just 3. Now, if you try it once more and you check your answer once more, 5 you multiply by x, which we found is 4. So 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. Plus 2 multiplied by y, which is 2 times 3, which is 6, is going to give you exactly 26. Calculate this. You can just simply say because both of them are squared, then you say 4.5 multiplied by 2, all of them are squared. So it's going to give you exactly 9 squared, which is 81. In this one over here, you can think about it in 2 different ways, but I'm going to give you the simplest way that I teach to my students. I say to them, imagine that these two are added already to each other, so they were exactly like this, plus 14 times 16 over 14, right? But then because the denominators are the same, we started adding the numerators. So they were like this. You can now simplify. So, but you have to split them first. So you can now simplify. Dividing it by 14 is 1, dividing it by 14 is 2. So 2 times 16 is 32. Plus, dividing it by 14 is 1, dividing it by 14 is 1, so you got 16 left. So 32 plus 16 is going to give you exactly 48. Here is a number fact. And they're requesting from you to use this number fact to work out the answer of this. So I'm going to ignore the decimal points. This will give me 5,478 multiplied by 64, which is the same thing exactly as 350,592. But mister, I have here 3 decimal places. So I need 3 decimal places in my answer. This question over here, dividing it by 64, well, I'm going to imagine, Mr. The most important thing in division is that the divisor is not a decimal. Because if it was a decimal, if it was a decimal, I would have needed to make it a whole number first. But here it is a whole number, so just ignore the decimal point. What is all of this divided by 64 is going to give you the other number. 5, 4, 7, 8. But mister, I have 2 decimal places, so just to put 2 decimal places. So mister, multiplication is just the same exactly like division? Yes, is the same exactly like division. Unless the divisor is a decimal, then no, it changes slightly. So here, if it was, and now I'm imagining that if this was 6.4, I would have needed to multiply this by 10 and this by 10 first to give me 3505, 9.2 divided by 64. Now the answer would have been, yes, this divided by 64, which is 5. 478, but I have one decimal place. Okay, but definitely right now, as you see, this is not the question. It's a question that I made up. So if you had the divisor as a decimal, make sure that you turn it into a whole number first. The next question says to you that Naomi uses three lines to make a pattern by connecting dots on a grid. The pattern has rotational symmetry but no lines of symmetry. Use three lines to make a pattern with rotational symmetry and a line of symmetry. You're going to find that the only pattern that you can make and it gives you a shape that has rotational symmetry and has a line of symmetry is just having a triangle. This is definitely need a ruler and a pencil, not a pen. Okay, so this equilateral triangle has three lines of symmetry and it has also rotational symmetry of order 3 as well. So the three lines can help you make a shape that has rotational symmetry and the lines of symmetry, which is just having the three sides of an equilateral triangle. Work this out. It is the same as 72. It's multiplication, so the order doesn't matter. All of them are multiplication. So it doesn't actually matter which one you're going to start with. So you can say 72 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5 times 10 to the power of negative 6 is 10 to the power of negative 1. Multiplying it by 10 to the power of negative 1 is the same as dividing it by 10 to the power of 1, which is just 7.2. This example over here is requesting for me to find the angle BEC, which is this angle that is marked with this small sign. They're telling you that this is a regular pentagon. So you can find this angle actually, or any of the internal angles. You can find them using the rule n minus 2 multiplied by 180 over n. Removing n and substituting it with 5 because this is 5 shapes. So 5 minus 2 multiplied by 180 over 5 is going to give you exactly 108 degrees. And the same thing exactly, you're going to see it for the hexagon. N minus 2 multiplied by 180 over n is going to give you one interior angle of a regular hexagon, which is 120 degrees you're going to find. Knowing that this is 108, then definitely this is going to be angles on a straight line, which is going to give you 72 degrees. And this is 120 angles on a straight line. This is going to be 60 degrees. Adding them up and minusing them from 180 is going to give you exactly 48 degrees. Because this is a triangle, they must add up to 180 degrees. So 72 plus 60 is going to give you 132 degrees. Minusing 132 from 180 is going to give you exactly 48 degrees, which is the size of angle BEC. Question 29. Yuri tries to convert some fractions to their simplest forms. If you notice over here, without even trying to simplify by myself, definitely this cannot be correct. Even if it's a correct step, even if it's a correct step, it is definitely not the simplest form. So incorrect. I still can divide by 2 up and down. This one over here, if you divide this by 14, it gives you 1, but if you divide the 56 by 14, will it give you this? I have no idea, but let's multiply 1 by 14. Yes, it gave me 14, but multiplying the 7 by 14, it will not give you 56 at all. Or if you divide this by 14, gives you 1. You divide this by 14, it will not give you 7 at all. So this is also incorrect. The last one, if you divide this by 17, you divide this by 17. Yes, this gives you 1. 68 divided by 17, it will give you 4. Yes. Mister, can I try using a multiplication? Gonna be much easier, much simpler. If I check multiplying it by 17 up and down, this becomes a 17. Yes, but 4 times 17, you can do it using the longer multiplication if you'd like to, which is going to give you exactly 68. Yes, so this is correct. It is the simplest form and it cannot be simplified more than that. 52% of the students in a school are girls. So we know that the school is 100%. But they're saying to you 52% are girls. So what percent are boys? The rest of the 100%, which is 48%, are girls, right? Are boys, sorry, are boys. Good. So they told you half of the girls, 50% of the girls, half of them play musical instrument. So play musical instrument, 50% of the 52, which is half of the 52, which is 52% divided by 2. You're going to find that it is 26%. This is half of the girls play musical instrument. While they said to you 25% of the boys play musical instrument. So we divided this by 2. 25% is the quarter. We're going to divide it by 4. This is the quarter dividing by 4, which is 12% of the boys play musical instruments. Work out the percentage of students in the whole school that play a musical instrument. So 26% plus 12% equals 38%. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.